Christiane Amanpour. And it's already got a name, Umbrella Revolution, the growing pro-democracy protest in Hong Kong, where hundreds of thousands poured into the streets again Monday after raising a defensive wall of umbrellas this weekend against riot police wielding tear gas and pepper spray. The violence drew even more people into the demonstrations, which have been choking off traffic, disrupting business, and forcing schools to shut down. It is the largest test of Chinese authority since Tiananmen Square. Although Hong Kong operates under the principle of one country, two systems, China is seeking to stamp its own system onto that business hub. But all of this started when Beijing announced this summer that it would approve all candidates for Hong Kong's next elections. Pro-democracy activists cried foul. They want real elections, and now they're calling for Hong Kong's current chief executive, C.Y. Leung, to step down. Today, the police pulled back. China seems to want to let Hong Kong authorities deal with this for now. And earlier, I spoke to a leader of the Occupy protest movement, Dr. Chan Kin-man, who told me the street protests could end this week. And while they're not looking for violent confrontation, they are looking for political concessions. Welcome to the program, Mr. Kim. Can you tell me how long the Occupy movement will stay in the streets?
Well, we hope that people can block the streets for at least a couple of days until October 1st. And then we will announce another stage of action. It might not be Occupy, but it will be a way for people to really express their idea about a genuine democracy in Hong Kong.
Now, the police, it seems, have not been so evident today after a lot of tear gas and pepper spray over the weekend. Have they been called back?
Well, it's really a shame that the police used tear gas to disperse the demonstrators. In fact, the demonstration was in a very peaceful and orderly manner. It is totally unacceptable for the police to use such a brutal force. But you have to appreciate how bold Hong Kong people is, how determined Hong Kong people is in fighting for democracy. People are not afraid. So now the government is backing down. We don't see any tear gas today, and even more people gather together in the streets. I'm talking about hundreds of 1,000 people took to the street today.
You say the government is backing down. Do you believe that politically they will back down and answer your demands for true universal suffrage? Do you believe they will cede to your demands?
Well, we understand that it will be quite difficult for Beijing to withdraw its decisions made concerning our constitutional reform in the short run. But we believe that it is quite realistic. If we can first ask our chief executive, C.Y. Leung, to step down, we believe that he is the major obstacle for our constitutional reform. So now people, in fact, have very strong demands asking him to step down, and we believe it is a realistic goal in the short run.
But Mr. Kim, even if he steps down, that surely isn't going to change Beijing, as you've just said. So what's the point of him stepping down, and what is your strategy to achieve universal suffrage, or do you not expect that to be given to you?
No, if he at the end will step down, then a new government will then replace him, and it provides a window for us to start over again the constitutional reform process. And we do not know whether we can obtain our goal in the short run, but we shouldn't look at a democracy movement as a battle. It is a war. As long as the spirit of democracy is alive, we are not, and we will not be defeated. And we believe that the spirit of democracy is alive in Hong Kong. If you come here, look at these young people, and also even middle-aged people, they just initiate this movement by themselves. It's really encouraging seeing so many people take it to the streets. We have a very high spirit here now.
You do actually look amazed and grateful for so many people in the streets, because it wasn't always like that when you started Occupy. There was a certain proportion of Hong Kong residents that didn't agree with coming out onto the streets. Have things changed now?
Well, in fact, after the use of tear gas to disperse the crowd. I guess the community was very angry about it. Everyone in town, I'm not saying everyone, I guess most people in town believe that it is just overuse of police force. And so we gained sympathy from the public. But to be realistic, we don't expect people to occupy streets in Central or other area for weeks. We are realistic enough to set a goal until October 1st. People have to, continue to do so until that date. And after that, we will announce another stage of action for people to participate.
All right, well, that's 2 days from now, and October 1st is your National Day. But what really is your message to Beijing? And in the end, isn't it in Beijing's hands?
Well, because the final decision, in fact, is made and will be made by Beijing. So it will be very meaningful for us to appeal to Beijing on the National Day. And I hope that Beijing can honor her promise, because it is written in our basic law that Hong Kong people will be given high degree of autonomy as well as universal suffrage. We don't want something fake.
Are you at all afraid that Beijing, which has stayed out so far, but it does call your movement illegal, are you at all afraid that it will revert to a heavy-handed crackdown, like in 1989 in Tiananmen?
Well, of course, this is an illegal direct action. But people are willing to shoulder this legal responsibility. And that's why this movement is so moving. Now, people will remain peaceful. And when we are in trial, people like me who are organizers will not hire any lawyer, to defend us. We will just make a political statement to explain why we have to do it. Because we want to do it for our next generation. We want to do it for the well-being of our communities. And Beijing, I don't think they will turn Hong Kong into another Tiananmen Square, because it will be very costly. If they send troops here to Hong Kong, then there will be no more one country, two system. There will be no more international financial center. And they have to end the cross-strait dialogue with the Kuomintang in Taiwan. And it might also invite censorship from UK or US government. You know that China relies on a fast-growing economy to keep social stability. And I don't think China could afford, facing this kind of censorship. So I don't think they will be stupid enough to send troops to Hong Kong.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight. As the protests were growing, the influence